Allergies.
Good morning. Welcome to Caffeinate. That was pretty subdued for me, wasn't it?
That was.
Good morning.
I didn't like that. No.
Welcome to Caffeinate Your Career. Today's topic, why college graduates are having trouble finding a job. I'm your host, the career coach with the most, Jason Opper. With me today is, what's your title now? Do you even know?
Senior Director of Stability and Supportive Services.
The stupendous Senior Director of Stability and Supportive Services. Jill got a new title.
I did.
And you're also in charge of more things now too, right?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
But you're also still in charge of our department as well.
Yes.
So, Jill, welcome to Caffeinate Your Career.
Thank
Glad
you.
that you were here. You are a lifetime educator.
That I am.
You, there you go. Everything is working correctly. We are
Great.
live. You spent your career, you were a principal. You've also taught at university.
Yes.
So obviously education.
That's my thing.
It's a big part of it's been a big part of your career.
It has, yes.
Let's start with some statistics real quick, because according to the AP News, the unemployment rate for college graduates with a bachelor's degree aged 22 to 27 is 5.8%. This is as of March of this year. So that's it's current.
Yeah.
College graduates, I guess you could say back in the day, it was almost a lock that you would go to school, get your degree, and you would be able to find a job. And that's not really the case anymore.
No, it definitely isn't.
And you had some stats too, right?
I do. So Laura Ulrich, she's the Director of Economic Research at Indeed. And she was saying that job postings have declined year over year by 6.7%. That is a huge decline in the job market. And also tech, before it was if you were in technology, IT, computers, right? It was a gimme. You were going to get a job.
Yes.
Well, now they're saying that job postings for tech jobs have declined by 36%.
That's a huge drop.
Yes. Scary.
Well, it also just, and that was the big news today, right? Amazon is laying off thousands of people.
30,000 people, Jason.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And the reason cited was what? Because of AI, right?
Yeah.
Guys, if today is not a wake up call for you to start learning AI, I don't know what is. It is important. It is not going away, and it just put 30,000 people out of work.
Absolutely.
So, college grads, why are they having such a hard time getting employed?
Oh, I think there's so many reasons. And I think the scary thing too is, like Jason said, being an educator. I went to school, got my bachelor's, got my master's, got my doctorate, thinking that was the route to take.
Yes.
If anyone was to ask me, what should I be doing? My first thing was always, you need to get a college degree, right? My husband is in sales. The company that he worked for 25 years wouldn't even look at him if he didn't have a college degree. And his degree had nothing to do with what that job was.
Yeah.
But that was the prerequisite, right? Now, when people ask me, I hesitate because I wonder, do you really need a college degree? What is the value of having that college degree? Then to come out of school with debt. Right? I had huge college debt.
And I think, especially for you, that's a really hard, jagged pill to swallow.
Yes.
Given the fact that you have spent most of your career in education.
Yeah.
But I think that for back in the day, you had to go to a university to learn the thing that you wanted to do for a living, and they gave you a piece of paper that says, oh, I can do this.
Yep.
We're in the last quarter of 2025, business purposes for business, they're already looking ahead in 2026. It's 2026 today. I think just as humans, we learn different.
Very much so.
Right?
Yep.
Like all the information is out there. You just have to know how to go and get it. I always use my wife as an example.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a plumber.
Right.
She's a senior program developer at FedEx Corporate, but she did watch a couple of YouTube videos and figure out how to take the guts out of the toilet and then put it back together again so that it stopped running.
Yep. She's my hero.
She's my hero too. Because she made the toilet stop running.
Exactly. But to your point, you can find anything. And you can watch the video and do it. Did you really need to call a plumber? Mm-mm.
Well, and I suppose it depends on how severe the problem is.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Also, too, when you're talking about plumbers or trades, you know how much plumbers make an hour?
I can only imagine.
It's $125 an hour.
Wow.
So, and just a few weeks back, we had Sean Sweden on, and we were talking about trades.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people are going into or starting to do trades more than they are going to university.
Yeah.
$125 an hour multiplied by 2080, which is the number of hours, a typical work week that you will have within the year.
Right.
Do you know how much that is?
A lot.
It's $310,000.
Wow.
Plumbers make $310,000 a year. That's more than most corporate jobs.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
So, okay, so we were talking about college grads, having trouble. I think one of the reasons is they just don't have the experience.
Right.
Right? Because even a lot of entry-level jobs now do require that you have some kind of experience going into the position.
Mm-hmm. I think about teachers, right? That was my whole career. And interviewing first-year teachers, right? Coming right out of school. They're so excited to get their first teaching job. They show up and they have no experience. But they did have student teaching.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That's considered experience. Whereas those, I guess, educators coming out with an alternative certification degree, right? They didn't have student teaching. They didn't have any experience. So I think that's a tough thing, having some type of prior experience. When you're right out of college, you probably don't, right? If you're a business major or, I don't know, whatever it is, what kind of experience would you have going into the workforce?
Well, I think if possible, getting into an internship would work.
Yeah, part-time job.
Volunteering,
yes,
is another way to get that experience.
Absolutely.
Look for nonprofits that have a need for what it is that you do, and get the experience doing it, and then you can go and move through the ranks and get an actual paying job.
Mm-hmm. I think that ties into networking too, right?
I think for sure. I think if you are in college right now, or you're about to graduate college, the people that you run into at the quad or your former professors or what, lean into those relationships and make sure that you are staying connected to them, because they're going to go off and get a job, and if there's an opportunity for you to get a job, they can recommend you.
Yep.
I just read an article a few weeks ago that said that 84% of employers are looking to hire people that are referred in versus somebody just applying off the street. Right. Which makes much more sense than anything else, right? Even when I was in recruiting and staffing, I loved getting referrals because it's one less person I have to go find, but also two, the person that is referring them is a good employee in standing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's also in their best interest because a lot of companies will pay out a referral bonus, which could be up to like $5,000. Some companies pay $5,000 for referrals.
Wow.
Yeah, and so okay, and so it's always preferred and in their best interest. We have who's that? The chat's kind of moving here. Arlimoni said, "Thank you, Dr. Jill. You are great." And Daryl Polson said, "A starting plumber at DFW earns $14 an hour." Okay. And good morning, Yolanda Chen.
So I think back to networking,
Yes.
right? I think about when I was in college and I was so focused on my classes and I didn't even think about networking. And times have changed, right? To your point, it's who you know, who connects you with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in college, getting ready to get out of college, do your best. Start reaching out, getting your name out there and meeting people.
Today's job search is all about who knows you.
Yes.
And what is it you're trying to do. I think like the more people that you are able to talk to and get connected with, the faster you're going to go back to work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, our HR person, Ashley, she was on the live stream before.
Ashley's been on the podcast before.
Ashley and I worked together years ago, right? Our HR position came open and I recommended her. She was somebody I knew her work ethic, everything, and that was her foot in the door.
And you got a referral bonus.
I did. It wasn't $5,000.
No, but even my point though is like even a small nonprofit like JFS, we do pay out referral bonuses.
Yeah,
it's not thousands of dollars because we are a nonprofit, but like we do have that as well. Yeah. I mean, the incentive to do it is just there, and just on the good side of things, like you help somebody get a job, and that's always a good thing too. Yeah. Right?
And she is awesome.
She is awesome. I talked to Ashley earlier. I talked to Ashley a lot more than I do most everybody else there. There's also, I think, like oftentimes there's a mismatch between the degree, the job that the degree that you're getting, and what's actually happening in the job market at the time.
Yes. So I think part of it too, right? There's not a clear, direct path.
Yeah.
Sometimes with your degree and what you think you want to do and what's out there, that's a difficult thing.
I think too, I had a client a couple of years ago, and our first meeting, she's like, "Oh, I'm almost done with getting my master's degree." I'm like, "That's great. What are you getting your master's in?" And she's like, "Business administration." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And she's an admin. She's an admin is what she does.
Right.
She's an executive admin. And I'm like, "So why are you getting your master's?"
Yeah.
Right? And she goes, "Well, it'll make me more marketable." That's right. I'm like, "Why do you think that?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Because I have a master's degree." And I'm like, "And?" Yeah. Right? Like we were talking just a minute ago. Like just because you have a degree doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be hot in the market for getting a specific job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's the degree you get as well, right?
Yeah.
Before having an MBA, that was something.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of a dime a dozen.
But also too, and I tell clients this, like you don't want to fall into the trap. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is, if the job posting reads bachelor's degree preferred, which means that you don't even have to have a degree. If you have your master's listed and it's right up there on the top because you're damn proud of it, and you should be.
Sure.
You're hurting your chances of getting employed right now. And the reason is, and oftentimes, the stigma with people having advanced degrees is, oh, they've got a master's degree. They're probably going to want $150,000, and we can only pay 85.
Yep.
And the recruiter's not going to second guess it and think. They're just moving on. It's like, we don't even need a degree for this job, and you got the master's, done. We're moving on, right? So it can actually hurt your chances in the long run.
Plus, there's probably so many applicants vying for that one job.
Well, yeah, I mean, most job, that's, the next bullet point, which is the market's just oversaturated.
Yep.
And it's about to be even more so with 30,000 people from Amazon hitting the streets looking for work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, especially when you have industries where you've got high demand of the people, it just turns out like you almost really have to have that networking piece in it, just because. Or I told a job seeker the other day. She was asking. She goes, "Jason, I'm applying to like 10 to 15 jobs a day, but nobody's calling me. Why is that?" I'm like, "Job post and explain kind of how recruiting works, right?" And I'm sorry if you're not I'm going to say the first 10 to 12 people that apply to the job, you're not going to get seen.
Right.
You're just not. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And so you're rolling through stuff and applying to jobs. If you don't do the extra bit and have somebody that you can get in touch with, or, what's funny, and this is what, I would always say, hey, here's a great way to get a job. In certain industries, you can just pop into a business and ask to talk to the manager, right? And then somebody pointed out to me, the manager's busy doing manager stuff. And they don't want you to interrupt them in their day. And I'm like, that's a good point. And so then the next thought was, how are you going to get that manager to recognize you, right?
Sure.
And so I'm like, well, what if you send them an email? And in the subject line, you write, I want to work for you, with 3 or 4 or 5 exclamation points after it. I think if you get an email like that, you're probably going to open it up and look at the resume.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Like, hey, I just applied to this job. I really want to work here. Here's 3 reasons why. I can attach my resume. When can we talk?
Yeah.
That's going to get you farther than just applying to something and just doing nothing.
Yes. And the whole popping in thing. People would do that to me when I was a principal. And to your point, I was pretty busy. And, I would feel bad that somebody would drive all that way with, their pretty copied resume and want to talk to me. And it's like, I can't.
Yeah, I'm busy right now.
Exactly. Right.
But email, you get around to it.
Absolutely.
When you get around to it.
Yep.
And you will open it.
Yep, you're right.
Gerald said, where are the networking events where college students are introduced and have conversations with businesses? Some companies will go out to campuses and actively recruit. Also, meetups are always a good idea. And then James said, why are there not as many career fairs to help anymore? So, great question. There are career fairs, but they're not very helpful, I don't think. And typically, this is how the career fair goes today. Right? Is you're going to stand in line for 15 to 30 minutes. You get up to the table where the recruiter's at, and you want to have the conversation with the recruiter, but it's kind of busy, right? You just had to wait 30 minutes to get up there to the front of the line, and they go and point at a QR code in front of them and go, scan that and apply, and just let me know what you're going to apply to. Mm-hmm. Why did I come out for this?
Exactly.
Really, for career fairs, the most bang you're going to get for your buck is talking to the people that are around you. There's somebody in front of you. There's somebody behind you. The beauty is, and you just never know who somebody is going to know.
Exactly.
I remember years ago when I worked at the workforce in Plano for the state, and we would have job fairs. And we would have some big names come in, like State Farm was really right around the corner. They were in all the time. We'd have some staffing companies. And I had a customer, and I'm like, listen, we're having a job fair.
Mhm.
I don't know if anything's going to fit because you're a marine biologist and I just don't know what to do with you anyway.
Right.
I was like, but come anyway, you never know. So she goes, makes the rounds, and she's like, asked to see me, and she sits down back at my desk, and she's, guess what just happened? I'm like, what? She goes, I was talking to the lady in front of me, and her husband is a marine biologist, and I'm like, that's worth the whole trip right there.
That's right.
Right? Like you just met somebody you didn't know that's in the same field as you, which is a very niche industry, and you now got a new contact and buddy.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
You just never know. So thank you for that question, James. I think economic conditions play a huge part in why college kids can't get hired.
Absolutely.
It just might be that the companies are slow to hire.
I think entry-level positions are fewer and farther between as well.
Well, I mean, you just read the stats on like jobs that fewer jobs are being posted overall, and I think it's not that the companies are hiring; it's just that they're a little hesitant to hire just because it could end up in layoffs. We saw this at the very beginning of the year. Typically, in the beginning of the year, first quarter, there's a huge push in hiring. Right, the budget's already been created.
Yeah.
Companies they have the need. They already know what they're going to need for the year. It's already been projected, and then we had a lot of economic uncertainty due to tariffs and companies not wanting to hire.
Yeah.
And because they may have to lay people off because of price and again, we were talking about those economic reasons, and so we didn't have a big push in hiring this year. And we talk about the statistics and the labor market information, but that's only based upon people that are actively on unemployment insurance.
Right.
That doesn't include the people that are long-term unemployed and are still looking for work. And that's a big factor too. I mean, you look at the numbers, it's like the numbers are always, they haven't been great in this year for sure. But think about all the people that have been unemployed are off unemployment insurance, and they are not being counted now as being unemployed, but they're still not employed.
Right.
And college grads are a huge piece of this. I always say, I like working with the younger clients.
You do.
I do, because they are either super excited and stoked and ready to go, and they already understand a lot about social media and how it works. So when I'm talking to them about LinkedIn and the things they need to do, they already get it.
Right.
Whereas sometimes my more experienced, rich clients are hesitant to do.
Yeah.
So let me back that up, right? Because Jill is like, why don't you just email the hiring manager?
Right.
Email the manager, right? And then well, where am I going to find their email address?
Yeah.
AI.
How do I do that?
It's so simple.
Yeah.
And by the way, Rhonda and I tested this out the other day. I tried it first. I wrote, because I know what my wife's email is at her work, and I asked ChatGPT, and it came back and told me what it was. Right? And then, so Rhonda and I was like, type in, and so Rhonda typed in, what is Jason Hopper's email at Jewish Family Service of Greater Dallas? It came back immediately with my email address. Then she did her,
right, and
it came back with two options.
Ew.
One was R. Robinson, which is not correct, and the other was her email, Rhonda Robinson.
Interesting.
At jfsdallas.org, because the computer understands, AI understands what it should be. I've been here for over 5 years, so mine came up immediately. Plus, my email is, not only I email people all over the town, but also too, it's on my LinkedIn page,
right?
Or it's hey, if you want to do practice interviews, email. So my email is out there. Rhonda hasn't been here for a full year yet.
Right.
So her email is a little bit newer, and so it didn't understand what it was exactly.
Yeah.
But even if you get like two choices, that's still right. That you could email both. One's going to come back and one's not, but it still was going to work. And that's how you get emails from, well, pretty much anybody.
Exactly.
Any manager, right?
Yep. So Jason, I wonder, I've read so much about like the generations and how, I guess in my generation, right, we stayed with our job for 20 years. My parents stayed with their jobs for 30, 40 years, retired, right? And now it's not that way anymore.
Right.
So I wonder how that affects like the mindset of companies to hire like college graduates in an entry level position because they have no experience. Then the company pays all this money, right? Invests all this money to train this person. And then within 2 years, whatever the timeline is, they leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that is a poor investment on the company side if you think about it. I don't know. So I wonder about that.
So I think a lot of that, though, has to do with culture, right? If you've got a great culture, somebody is probably going to be willing to stay 2-3 years to get that experience. Will they move on? Yeah, maybe. But a lot of it will depend on how well they fit in. But you're correct. Good job history now is considered to be like 2 to 3 years in a position, right?
Exactly.
And this is why I think it's always a great idea for companies and employers to hire experienced rich workers because they will for sure stay 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years until they're like, oh, well, we're going to retire now.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Like, let's look at you.
Exactly.
Because you retired.
I tried so many times.
You retired, and then like you were volunteering, and then you ended up
here. I am.
Right?
Exactly.
Just real quick in the chat. Hey, Peter's in the chat. Hey, buddy. He said a college degree only communicates that you can learn and stay with a project. It doesn't mean that you're qualified to do the job and have the aptitude to perform the duties 100%.
Well said.
By the way, just to plug Peter Van Ryder, what he does, he owns a staffing company that hires professional wait staff.
Really?
This is not like a maid. This is like the people that set up and maintain the homes of like the Zales and Mark Cuban and
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. Daryl Polson said if we look at the research, PricewaterhouseCoopers projects that 50% of the workforce will be gig contracts. Yep, that is 100% true. And Yolanda says that AI is amazing and embrace it 100%. If you don't, you are in for some troubles. I think too. You're welcome, Peter. Peter, thanks for the shout out. You got it, buddy. I think what you do is college grads sometimes they have the unrealistic expectations. Just like what. Thank you so much for that value, because what Peter said just a second ago, which was having the degree doesn't mean you're qualified for the job.
Absolutely.
Right? But I think that is the idea or the expectation. I just talked about the client I had a few years ago that said, oh, I've got a master's degree. I'm more marketable now. Why? Why do you think that?
Yeah.
That is not absolutely true. And oftentimes I think people will pass on a job because it doesn't fit what they think should be their career path in the degree.
Right. Or their salary.
Or the salary.
Right?
Right.
I have a master's. I should be earning $100,000.
Right.
I have no experience, but I have a master's degree.
That's right.
So I think that's a disservice.
The for sure. And that's something that, well, one, I think that university does not prepare people very well for the realistic expectations of a job search.
Yes.
Right? Like you may have a career counselor. They may recommend you have a resume. It may or may not be outdated.
Right.
Right? There's certainly not any type of interview prep and skill.
None.
Right? By the way, good time for a commercial.
Yes.
If you didn't know, Jewish Family Service of Greater Dallas has a virtual interview practice program called VIP Squared. What happens is you will log on and I will put you into a breakout room with an interviewer. They will interview you for 30 minutes. Then there was 15 minutes of feedback. And then after that, you log out. You're done for the day. And they will send me a feedback form by the end of the week that I will send on to you. So you will have something tangible and in your hands by the end of the week. We do it every Friday, every Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. All right. And I've got a whole team. I've got like 7 people on my team. So it's potentially 7 people that you can interview with. And I think it is definitely worth doing because, well, interviewing is a skill. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And we have this program specifically to help you interview and get back to work. So if you're like, oh my gosh, Jason, I need to do that. How do I get to it? Email me. And if you don't know what my email is, go to AI and think. No, it's J Hopper, the letter J, Hopper, HOPPER at jfsdallas.org. It's also on my LinkedIn, on my About profile, and you can use AI to figure it out. I'm full up for today, and honestly, I don't know. I'm at half full for next week. I do have a couple spots left for next week. So email me. It's the spots are going quick, but let me know, and we will get you started in practicing interviews.
And we can also help you with your resume.
We can do that as well. So, Jill, do we write resumes for people here?
We do not write them for.
No, I don't write resumes for anybody. I don't know your career. You do. Write it. Bring it to me. You know what I will do?
What?
I will wordsmith the hell out of that thing. I love wordsmithing resumes. It's one of my favorite things to do. And you can talk to some of my clients, and they will tell you that I am amazing at wordsmithing their resumes. So we can help with that as well.
Yes.
And if you need help with your resume, call this number. It's 972-437-9950, extension 379. Leave a message. Somebody from the team will get back to you within 24 hours, and we will start you in the process and get your resume in the right form. Because resumes aren't going away soon.
But it might.
It will. They will eventually. They're not going away soon, but they will be going away at some point in time. In fact, the projection is that by the time Gen Alpha hits the workforce, there will be no resumes.
I will way long be retired. For sure.
Again.
Yes.
Again.
Okay, the other thing, Jason, I was thinking about, like reflecting on my career and my husband. My husband is in sales. He was with the same company for 25 years. It was one of those, when he started, it was onward and upward. And we moved every 4 years, right? Going into our relationship, I knew that was what I was signing up for. So I think, right out of college, you want a job in whatever field you're interested in. You have no experience. You're going to take, something that has potential. Are you willing to move? Are you willing to pick up, relocate, and start someplace fresh? And
some college grads can't do that. No. They don't have the ability monetarily to just go someplace else. Mm-hmm. I mean, you just graduated school, like we talk about student debt. Right? There's that, and plus just like, what else are you going to do, right? So, it makes a difference. I think it's a good idea to tailor the resume to the job that you're applying to, and I think just job seekers in general, not just the college grads, but they just don't take the time to do it.
Yes.
right? I mean, if, we were talking about AI, and we talked many times about uh, the applicant tracking software, which has a form of AI in it. And what it does is matches up on keywords. And so it's important to tailor the resume specific to the actual position that you're applying to.
Yep, exactly.
We talked a minute ago about employers not wanting to hire grads and train them just so that they're going to leave later, right? And I think that, we talk about retention, and I always think about working here, because I think we have a nice mix of experienced, rich workers and, some people that are, millennials, or I'm Gen X,
right?
That are younger as well, and they still are doing a crazy excellent job at what they do. Like Michelle is who I'm thinking of, right? Yeah. Because she's our volunteer manager here. Started out as the volunteer coordinator, got her degree in social work, I believe, and was moving here anyway, and then everything just kind of, and she's been here, 2 years, 3 years now?
Oh, longer than that. She was here before I was here.
You've only been here for 2 years.
I know. Has it been 2 years?
Michelle, how long have you been here, girl? Let me know. But she's awesome at what she does, and it's been like a few years. I'm hoping she continues to stay. I think it's the environment, or even Nolan, right, who is amazing at what he does. Yes. And Nolan and I were having a conversation, and he was having some feelings, and he's like, I would love to stay here for the next 12 years. He's already planned out.
Love it.
That he wants to be here for 12 years.
And I can see that.
If he wants to do it, he will, because he's awesome at what he does.
Jason, he is doing things to ensure that he can be here for the next 12 years.
Yeah.
Right? Learning different things within his department, outside of his department, kind of broadening his scope so that he now has more to offer.
Yeah.
Right? Well, and when you're 23 years old,
you better have something to offer if you want to stay.
Absolutely.
Right? I always point to we have when Mitch was here. Mitch was here for over 20 years.
Wow.
Right? Before he retired, and I think he's kind of partly retired. But for me, I've got come March, I'll have been here 6 years. If I could put in another 14, let's see, that would make me 67.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I've already been here over 5 years, Jill. It's gone by like that. It's super fast, right?
Yeah.
And I love what I do, and I like most of you guys that I work with.
Yeah. Depends on the day.
Yeah. Yesterday was not that day.
It was not.
But at the same time, it's one of it's a retention thing. So it's I think if you have a good culture,
yes,
if you have an excellent boss like I do,
thank you,
and you like what you do,
yes.
Like I said, I can't believe I've been here for over 5 years now. The time has gone by so fast, and again, I like what I do, and I think that the culture itself, even though we do have issues,
like any place,
every place has issues, but I think overall the mission and the general the feeling of it is awesome, and it's why I continue to stay,
right?
And why, if I can, put in another 10 years or so with Nolan. Yeah. And hang out with Nolan, then I certainly will, right? Because I think that's just what the path is. And so, we talk about companies, they may not want to train, but I think that those that realize that if they give somebody a shot and train them, that they could potentially stay, provided that the culture of the place is thriving, and I think moving forward as well.
Yeah. You know, one of my clients, she'd been looking for a job for a while, and she just recently got a job, and it wasn't what she expected. Like she was putting in a lot more hours than she thought, all of this, and she was pretty disillusioned, right? And and now she wants to quit.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you're on contract, you quit, what are the repercussions, right? So I think again with recent college graduates really researching, thinking through what is it that you want to do. Just because you got my bachelor's degree is in microbiology. I did that.
Right, you were a nurse.
No, I was a
No.
medical technologist.
Medical
Yes.
technologist. Okay.
Right? But I didn't know what that meant. I went to school for it. I got a job doing it. It was great until it wasn't.
Yeah.
So really digging deep and finding out what is it going to be like. You don't want to take a job, quit in 3 months. Now what? Is that your experience? I stayed in a job for 3 months and I left.
I think that. So first, I don't think it's a good idea to leave any job until you have another job lined up.
I
The market
agree.
is way too competitive.
Yes.
The job market is trash right now, to be
Mhm.
honest with you. It will break down at some point, but it is terrible. I do think that if you do have something lined up and it is after 3 months, that it's totally fine and it's easily explainable too.
Mhm.
Meaning you can say to the employer, it's like, oh, you've been there for 3 months. I'm looking at your resume. Or why, if it's been like, so if it's been a minute since you've been out of work, right? Like 6 months, a year, you definitely want to put it on there. But if you're back into an interview situation, it's like you've been here for 3 months. Why are you still looking? You can easily say, you know what? The job expectations weren't what I thought they were when I got in. I don't want to talk bad about the employer, but this is not a good culture fit for me.
Mhm.
Or if it's so bad that you just have to quit because of your mental health and stability, you can say, I realize that I'm self aware enough to understand and know that this is not going to be a place where I'm going to thrive.
Right. Right.
And you just stop talking.
Yeah.
Right. So it can go that way. You just need to make sure that the way that you phrase why you're back on the market in a short period of time makes sense to the employer.
Yep. And to your point, never talk bad about your former employer.
No.
Networking, you don't know who knows somebody.
Especially if you're like in a niche kind of industry, because somebody is going to know somebody that knows somebody, and now they're like, Jill said, what about me?
Exactly.
Okay. Jeff, our phone number is 972-437-9950, extension 379. And Danielle said, organizational culture makes a huge difference in employee satisfaction. 100%.
Yes.
I definitely agree. So, Jill, we are about at time. So,
okay.
That went by super fast.
It did.
It usually does. Fun question for the day.
Oh, okay, I'm ready. Lay it on me.
You have to sing karaoke.
Oh.
What song are you going to sing?
I am going to sing. Oh, the pressure. I don't do karaoke, number one. Never have. Potentially never will. Wow.
By the way, I'm in charge of doing the icebreaker at the our event next week, and that is one of the questions that we will.
Seriously? Yes. Oh, what's yours? Give me a minute to think.
So you know what? My answer is going to be, what do you want me to sing? Because when I was younger and single, I did karaoke every night up here in North Dallas. I'm shutting down.
Why does that not surprise
I'm shutting down pool halls, Magic Time Machine up here with lady karaoke on Wednesdays. And I would sing a myriad of songs. I would have go-tos, of course. In fact, the last time I did karaoke, I sang "With or Without You" by U2.
All right. Okay.
And strangely enough, our son, he will do karaoke, and he asked to do a karaoke party for his birthday coming up in December, which was really kind of out of left field, but that's what he wants to do. Yeah. So yeah, I would take requests. People are like, "Hey, can you sing "The Scientist" by Coldplay for me?" Sure. Can you buy me a beer? Sure. Okay, great. I would sing for beer.
Okay, I would probably choose a song that it was audience participation, so I didn't have to sing very much. Yes.
All right.
Not sure what song that was. Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline, baby? Yeah.
Absolutely. Then everybody joins in, and I don't have to worry about it.
What song would you sing in karaoke? Let me know in the chat. Next week, Jill, thank you for being on Caffeinate Your Career for this episode of College Graduates. I appreciate it. Next week, we will be starting a series. We're calling it the Recruiter Series. Our buddy Scott Butnick will be back. Nice. Scott has many years under his belt as a recruiter. And so next week, we're going to kick off the Recruiter Series with a day in the life of a recruiter. If you want to know what a recruiter does all day or how they actually work, Scott's going to tell you. So come back next week and we'll see Scott. In the meantime, this has been Caffeinate Your Career for this week. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.